it doesn't matter, what you want to do, because I truly believe everyone can be their own entrepreneur.
I agree. I think that's kind of probably like a unique take too. I face a lot of this disagreement with that perspective. My perspective is I think we're all entrepreneurial, like in our heart, like deep down, like even at our roots, probably historical, like way historical level. But I think we've been trained to not be as a culture for
Correct.
many, many years, especially in the Western society. Hey there, I'm Cody McGuffie. I'm a husband, dad of 3, and I'm the founder of EverBee.
EverBee.
Where we serve over 1 million creators across the globe, helping them grow thriving online businesses. I believe every single human is a creator, and I believe every single creator should own a business. A business that gives them the freedom to build the life that they dream of. Built Online is where creators, entrepreneurs, and leaders get real insights, real stories, and the edge to build something that actually lasts. This is where the next generation of builders get built. Jess, what's going on? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great too. Thank you for coming on. I'm excited about just to chat it up. I think before we hit record, you were mentioning you have 2 boys and they're home because it's snowing outside. Is that correct?
Very busy boys. They are glad to be home. They've been home since Friday, actually, and don't usually get snow days in December, so they're excited. But I think by the 3rd day, they're a little bit stir crazy.
Yeah.
So mom is tired.
Tell me about the boys. Like you mentioned, they're really good boys. And there's like 15-year-old and 10-year-old crazy boys, like strong-willed and kind of like very, very active. Where do your boys kind of like fall on that?
They're polar opposite. So the oldest is the people pleaser, helps me with anything I need. Just a great child. So works super hard in school. He's a great athlete, and just really doesn't give me any trouble. And then the youngest is my sweet as he could be, mama's boy, but he gives me all the trouble. Hates school, but he's incredibly engineer minded. So very smart, can create anything from anything. So I laugh and am amazed by him daily, while also just nursing my headache.
Do you think that, are you seeing, I'm curious, so I have 3 kids myself.
Okay.
I have a 6-year-old boy. I have a 4-year-old girl, getting ready to turn 5 actually. And then I have a 1-year-old boy.
You are busy.
Totally busy. Blessed beyond belief.
Very busy.
But very busy, yeah. My wife is busier than me. So give her all the credit. But I'm curious, as you're ahead of the game, ahead from us when it comes to ages, and as an entrepreneur yourself, I'm curious about if you're noticing traits of like potential entrepreneurs. This one will be, this one won't be. Maybe I don't necessarily think that this is like an accurate thing, but it's fun to kind of play a little bit. I'm like, oh, you have some qualities, and you being an entrepreneurial mom, curious of how you view that. Are you seeing any entrepreneurial characteristics in your boys yet?
In the oldest, no, because I think he loves to work with people, and I could totally see him just joining a team and enhancing that team. Just knowing him, I don't think he wants to lead, but he just wants to be a part of something. Cool. The youngest, yes, he's stubborn in a way that makes me think he will only work for himself. And the way his mind works, I can totally see him having a team around him that he leads, but in the way he wants to lead it, if that makes any sense at all.
It does make sense. And that's why it's a fun conversation. Cause like, I'm still kind of looking at our kids and I'm like, I don't really know if I see it yet. I mean, I see like my son who's 6 years old, he's super strong-willed, like insanely strong-willed, to where it's like, it's very difficult for us as parents to like corral him. But I also see that as like, this is going to be a great quality when you're older. Like it's going to be a really amazing quality.
That's our youngest. So I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, he's going to be great. We just have to get through this stage.
Totally. And my daughter, I haven't figured her out yet fully. Cause sometimes she shows both, like,
right.
And then obviously our 1-year-old is our 1-year-old. I was
and
curious.
2 boys and a girl, or 2 girls and a boy?
Yeah. Older boy and younger boy, and then middle girl.
Okay. She'll be well protected.
Yeah, she will be for sure. She's getting pretty tough though with her strong-willed older brother.
Oh yes.
Beating her up. So
my brother has 3 boys and he has a girl, but the baby is a girl. she is tough as nails.
Yep. But very cool. Yeah. And I'm excited to talk about what we're talking about today. I mean, I love talking about kids, and we can I know that'll constantly be the underlying theme of why we do what we do.
Absolutely.
But I really want to understand a little bit about your background, and then uh, specifically about Madilyn James, about what y'all are building, kind of
Sure.
where it started, where did it come from, like all this stuff, because it's unique, it's new to me, it's new to me, it's new, and it's probably new to our community.
It
And
is. Yep.
maybe let's just talk about that. So you're the founder of the Madilyn James.
I am.
What is this?
Madilyn James is an e-commerce marketplace or platform for creators. So if I kind of step back a minute, when we sold some companies we had years ago, you kind of step back and say, I'm too young to retire. What do I want to do now? And I kind of dabbled with reselling things, whether it was Etsy or Poshmark. And one thing I noticed was depending on what I was wanting to sell, it would be a specific platform, or it made sense to go to a specific platform. So then I said, well, why can't we, with our development background, why can't we create a platform that is great for various users, right? If you're a busy mom and you're just trying to clean out your closet or get rid of the kids' clothes, or you're a creator and you want to show your items to the world, but you don't want to invest in a platform. It doesn't matter, what you want to do, because I truly believe everyone can be, they're on their own entrepreneur.
I agree with
But
that.
but it's right.
Yeah, that's scary. I think that's kind of probably like a unique take too. I found that I faced a lot of disagreement with that perspective. I'm like, my perspective is, I think we're all entrepreneurial, like in our heart, like deep down, like even at our roots, probably historical, like way historical level. But I think we've been trained to not be as a culture for
Correct.
many, many years, especially in the Western society. So curious of like, why do you think that? Why do you think that everybody should be an entrepreneur? Or
I
could
think, well, I think it's amazing to take your own, survival, like you said, it dates way back, and put it in your own hands. And then if you are, you hear some people claim they're miserable and things, then you can change that, right? So owning businesses previously, and that's what you heard all the time, is how miserable they were, and things they wanted to do with their life. And it's like, well, then why don't you do that? And look, then, and we're talking probably 10 years ago now, the internet and technology isn't what it was right now. It's amazing. And I think people just need that opportunity or that platform to get out there and do what they need to do. But I think most people, what holds them back is money, right? Because it's not cheap to get something going. It doesn't have to be expensive, but I think a lot of people think that it is. I'm sure there's some fear behind it, whether that's legal fear, or again the financial part of it, or just the fear of failure, right?
Sure.
And
yeah, keep going. Sorry.
no. And I just think that's the beautiful thing about providing this platform where they can just get on and try it, and they're absolutely nothing to lose. That hopefully people can grasp onto that and say, I can do this. And if they don't, if they change their mind, or they, in their eyes they fail, they haven't lost anything, right?
Yeah, love that. I just wanted, for anyone listening to this or watching this, it's MadilynJames.com. Is the main right way to find you guys. And would you describe it as like a platform? I'm sorry, I'm like more of a marketplace, like a two-sided marketplace, essentially a buyer seller. So you really, here's an opportunity for creators, like new creators. I'm not necessarily new, but like creators to come on here and list their items.
Correct. That's right.
Beautiful. Who is the right person? Who would thrive by selling on Madilyn James right now?
That's what I love about it, because anyone from the closet clean out, or the person that says I need to declutter before the new year, you take in Christmas gifts and you need to get, out with the old and with the new. Again, the creators, and whether that's someone who curates items, or they're really into vintage and reselling vintage, or they're an actual creator. I go to craft fairs and various fairs all the time and tell them about Madilyn, and they'll look at me and say, that's amazing. I had a website, but I took it down because I didn't want to continue paying for it, or I didn't have the time to continue managing it. And so that's who it's for, right? Just anyone looking for that opportunity to put a little extra money in their pocket if they're just cleaning out their closet, or if they're truly making a business of it and reselling luxury handbags, which is a crazy market, or trying to sell their own creations. I mean, it's truly for everyone.
I love that. Who is typically the buyer that comes, the end consumer, on Madilyn James?
Gosh, it's a huge net, right? So we actually get calls. We've gotten calls lately of people looking for Hermes bags, of course. That's a biggie. And people collecting like Carhartt coats and things. It's really interesting, the kind of things that you hear, Levi jeans. But it's also those people looking for one of a kind, unique items that they don't want to go on your everyday website and find, and that they'll see in someone else's home or in someone else's closet. And then it's the people looking for a closet refresh that, times are expensive right now and they don't want to spend crazy money. And
Is
they
it
like
primarily secondhand stuff, like reselling stuff, or is it like
it's a
brand new
mixture.
everything? Okay,
Yep.
so it's not one or the other. It's more like
No, there's a ton of pre-love stuff. There's a ton of things that are brand new. People have purchased them and they're still in the plastic. They still have the tags on them. And then there's a lot of artwork. We have some
so
great,
you guys are competing directly with Etsy then. I mean,
yeah, we are.
cool.
We have some great artists that just joined. And then we have a couple of fashion designers that just joined that launched their own lines. So yeah, it really is a big mixture.
That's awesome. Very cool. And I'm looking at the catalog right now. If anybody's interested in hasn't found it yet, it's app.madilynjames.com. It's specifically where you'll see like the actual catalog, product catalog, and all these things. I'm curious as a fellow founder myself. I want to kind of hear the founding story of this. Maybe like how long ago did you all found it? You guys co-founders? Like you have like a part. Like what did you guys do there? Did you guys raise funds? Did you guys bootstrap this thing?
So we didn't. We owned a company. We started a company back in '05, believe it or not.
That's Securitech Screening Solutions, right?
Correct. Yes, that we had until we sold in 2020, 2021. And then again, just kind of spent some quality time with the kiddos because, as you know, growing a company can suck your time. um, so spent some time with the kiddos and then realized we wanted to get back into something. And oddly enough, they were asking, like, what are you going to do next? And so I think they like that, mom and dad work and they work hard. And we also kind of brought them into this because their kids they're so much smarter than I think we give them credit for. Um, and they had some great feedback on sites like Goat and things like that they look at every day. So anyways, we my husband and I, so yes, we're co-founders, and I'm more the creative brain behind things, and he definitely is the tech mind, the development background. Um, so we've just been self-funding. We hired so when I brought the idea to him, he was like, yes, let's do it. And we had a team of developers prior, but then we thought, sometimes it's great to bring kind of just fresh blood to the mix. You know what I mean? So word of mouth and talking to other developers kind of found a great fit. And it's funny because our developers are kind of worldwide. Some are in Canada, France, great people. And so we built our development team there. And yeah, and here we are. We've started developing what are we in, December? So I want to say August of last year.
Okay. And when did you guys go live? Because you guys are obviously in the market and you guys have a big catalog.
We went live, what is this, December, about 1 month ago now.
Oh, wow. It's brand new. Super
Brand new. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
brand new. And the app, we have an app, but it's more of like a test flight app.
Yeah.
And the official app will be launched in about 2 weeks.
Beautiful. I've also, being a founder also, like before EverBee, there's a whole closet full of dead ideas, projects and stuff. A marketplace, not a specific marketplace like this, there's more like different types of marketplaces, was on one of those project lists.
Yep.
And the roadblock that, not the roadblock, it was more like the big challenge, right? That you know very well, and that I ran up against. I'm curious to get your perspective on, is like, cool, you don't just have like one customer you're trying to acquire here. You're trying to acquire two types of customers here. You're trying to acquire the seller, and also you're trying to acquire the actual shopper, the buyer, the end consumer. And then not only that, but like the fees that you collect on this transaction are substantially small compared to the effort, that it takes and the money that it takes to actually acquire these people. No news to you, I'm sure, but I actually want to hear from your founder perspective, you and your husband's perspective, is like how have you overcome that so far? How are you tackling that? I'm curious, like which one's coming first, chicken or the egg type of thing, or both?
Yeah, that's funny you asked that, because about 2 weeks ago, right before we launched, when you're developing something, you don't get a great feel for it, and you don't until you throw it out there and you start really testing it. It was one of those things. It was really hard to test until we went live. So we were finally like, take it live. We'll introduce it to a small, circle, get feedback, and fix as we go, kind of thing. So that's what we've been doing the last few weeks. And someone just raised the question, maybe, I don't know, in the last 2 weeks, who are we? The marketing team was like, who do we want right now, right? Do we want buyers or sellers? And my immediate answer was, we want the inventory, right? Because you want to attract people. Now I understand that inventory is not going to stay there if it's not selling. So that's the hard part. And what we decided was, let's make a big push to get our inventory up and attract the sellers. And we want a variety of sellers. And then from there, I think the buyers will come. So in our mind, it was, if you build it, they will come as long as the inventory is there. And that's kind of the motto I think we're sticking with for right now. Obviously, if we need to pivot, we'll pivot.
Sure.
But for right now, the big push is to get the sellers on the site, find the creators, find the people that are looking for that platform. And again, if you need to declutter your closet, it's for that as well.
Awesome. There's a pretty good amount of our audience. Certainly all of them are creators, all of them are entrepreneurs. But there's a big segment of a pretty good segment of Etsy sellers, people that sell on Etsy. And
yes.
They don't only sell on Etsy, they sell on other marketplaces too, of course. They sell on use EverBee store to have their own standalone site. And we actually recommend a lot of times to people to, you have a home base of your own standalone store, your standalone site where like you live, your business lives.
Yep.
But you absolutely should open up sales channels, to Etsy being one of them, Amazon being another one, and then Madilyn James being another one too. Because there's not really any downside to it. It's more
totally agree.
Cool.
Totally agree.
I love that. For people wondering, I know naturally people come from Etsy, they will be wondering, the opportunity is, okay, cool. We're early. I'd be an early seller onto a new platform, and it just identify with it. The advantage also is that it's probably fairly low risk. Sounds like to me, meaning like not a huge amount of investment required. But specifically, like how do you guys make sure you guys are going to make money? Is it listing fees? Is it transaction fees? Of course,
just a flat commission for right now. So while we're trying to attract those sellers, that's what we've just decided: 7.5% commission. And they put everything else back in their pocket. There's no sign-up fees. There's nothing else. The buyer covers shipping unless the seller chooses to cover it. But other than that, that was the other thing. Everything seems so complicated, and the hidden fees that you try to uncover, right, when you're on some of these sites. So the other thing was just keeping it really black and white, really simple. And so, yeah, just a flat 7.5%. And that's the beauty of getting on the site early, while we're still trying to attract the sellers, is you can lock in that 7.5%.
That's awesome. And it's super fair. And as far as you guys is like, again, more of a founder question for myself. Curious like how you look at this. For me, it was like, how many sellers am I trying to get onto this platform
Mm-hmm.
or to make this whole thing work?
Right.
Do you have a target number in your head? Is it like 20,000? Is it like 100,000? Or is it Is it less than that? I don't know.
No, I honestly I don't. I kind of use the model we used in I guess our previous life was just, whoever wants to come is welcome. And I'm not going to set any goals right now because, if I get 500, I'm elated. If I get 500,000, I'm elated, right? And I appreciate every single one of them. The one thing I will say is Madilyn James is trying to be very community focused in the sense that you come on and you don't feel like just another customer. If you need the help, if you need the feedback or the assistance or the marketing help, whatever that may be, we want to be able to assist um, every single one of them. So I didn't want to be right out of the gate with a million users and then I can't put my finger on or touch base with every single one.
Mm.
So that's our goal right now is keeping an eye on every single one, and it is a tall order. But I plan on doing that as long as we can.
I love that. Yeah, I think it's so necessary, right? When you start, you know more than anything, and people listening to this that have had experience like building something from scratch, like that early feedback, that early community, that's like everything, right? Like being in touch with that one-on-one relationships. Because usually when one person has a problem, usually everybody else has the problem too, or a lot of people do.
Totally. And we like focus groups. We learn so much just from focus groups, right? And someone asked me what's the biggest thing we do when we get into anything, and obviously your research, but then your focus groups, I think they're huge. So I
Very
think feedback and being able to communicate with people your wins and the things that aren't going so well is incredibly important.
super cool. Uh, I want to transition a little bit to I guess your other background. What's your other background? It's probably the wrong way to put that, but more so, I'm just curious about like you also are like an expert specifically in like branding and storytelling. Did I describe that correctly? Like, do you feel like,
I don't know if I'm an expert, but I have a fantastic team. I partnered with a great friend now, Jen Dalton. I'm in Southern Virginia. She's in Northern Virginia. Um, and she is just a brand master, and she has taught me so much about branding and storytelling and how that authenticity is so important because my big thing from day one was I'm just not here to sell people something. I've done it. I've owned a company. I've grown it and I've sold it. And I know not only what it takes, but how hard it is. And that can be a huge deterrent. And so it was how do we empower people to want to do their own thing and make them realize we're not here to just sell them something. Because I mean, we're not. If they sell, yeah, we both win. But if they don't sell anything, neither of us
I
win.
love that.
Um, so it was how do we tell that story of we've been there and done it, and we're here to help you do the same. We're not just here to take your 7.5%.
Sure. Yeah, I could see that, and I think any serious sellers, people that are, they see opportunity. They take it seriously when if you didn't take anything as a commission, then it would be like it would be weird. It'd be one sided. It's not sustainable. So like
Right.
anybody kind of chasing that like free is probably not the right seller on any platform anyway, because they don't understand how it works. Everybody has to win for this whole engine to work long term.
100%.
Yeah. Beautiful. Where can people find out more about you, about like connect with you, get in touch with the community at Madilyn James? Where can people do that?
So we're on all the social handles right now: LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, which I'm learning so much about TikTok because I was not a TikToker until now. But then our website is full of information, but there's also a phone number, there's email addresses. So we are not one of those sites where you submit a ticket and we'll get back to you. They can email and they will get a live person. They can email requesting me personally, or they can call the number and actually be transferred to my phone directly.
Super valuable. I think especially when coming from selling on Amazon, doing Amazon FBA is one of my first businesses,
Yep.
dropshipping another one, and then and also selling on Etsy in the past as well. Those companies were already big when we were selling on them, so it was very much impossible to actually get in touch with a human being that actually cares about you and wants you to succeed. And I see that as an opportunity for anyone just like considering Madilyn James is like it might not, I'm not going to promise for Jess that that's going to always be like this, but I could see
Right.
that it will be that way for a while. And
Absolutely. We again in our previous life, that it wasn't that we didn't have competition, but the one thing that made us stand out is we answered our phone every single time, right? Everyone else would get a, press 1 for this, 2 for this, and then, you get more prompts. And we always answered the phone. We always went above and beyond in customer service. It really inspired, I guess, in me that it's about the work you're doing, but it's about the customer service and the connection with your clients. So I said, no matter what we do here, we have to have that connection, and we have to be reachable.
love that.
Because yes, I've, as I said, I've sold on many of the sites, and when you have a problem, it's so frustrating.
Yeah,
So
totally. Beautiful. I was going to ask you one more question. I'm kind of going back a little bit. Do you guys have any print on demand sellers yet? People like doing print on demand stuff. Shouldn't really be any different than anything else, I don't think, technically.
not that I know of yet, but I know that's a huge market.
Yeah. Do you have any like strong opinions on that either way?
On print on demand?
Yeah, like more like, because some platforms are like, I don't want print on demand. And some platforms are like, we don't care. Of course, we're working with print on demand.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah. I would work with print on demand for sure.
How about digital products, digital downloads? That's a little bit, I know it's going to require a little bit more development, but are you guys considering that?
Yes. So just about 2 weeks ago, I was actually with another focus group, and someone asked that very question. And to be honest, I hadn't thought about it. As you know, in development, you get so consumed with
Totally.
everything. And I thought it was a fantastic idea. So yes, that is on the development's to-do list.
Cool. It's cool. I mean, obviously, digital downloads is a big opportunity, I would say. Also,
Yeah.
there's the downside of digital products are typically the average cart value is very low on those, so
Very well. Yeah.
it's hard to like really justify it financially.
Right.
Because most of them are like $3 products. Yes, you could sell like a $40 template, but it's not very often, So like 7.5% on a $3 product is hard to make any money on anything for any.
Oh, and I haven't thought about that structure. My son is actually huge into 3D printing, so he's constantly doing digital downloads. And I need to kind of research what's happening out there with that. But I'm guessing it just has to come out to like a flat fee, right? It's unless it's under a certain dollar amount,
Yeah.
a flat fee, and then it becomes a percentage above, a certain amount. But that it's crazy that he's 10, and yeah, he spends a lot of time downloading digital templates. Yep.
Totally. It's interesting. Creators, they create lots of different, we create a lot
We
of stuff.
do. It's amazing. But what I will say about a lot of the sites he uses, if he wants the template modified and he submits a message, he actually gets, replies.
Love that.
So it's very cool.
Beautiful. Jess, thank you for your time.
No.
For anybody listening to this or watching this, we'll link to all of Jess's links in the show notes or the description below. But appreciate you coming on. Thank you. And I wish you the best of luck with Madilyn James.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye.